It's my great pleasure to welcome to Time Space Visualiser Darren Fereday, concept artist for series 10, 11 and 12 of Doctor Who. Hello, Darren.
Hi there. How are you doing?
I'm all right. First of all, can I get you to explain what a concept artist does?
So a concept artist's brought in usually around the pre-production or sometimes the pre-production to speak with the production designer to start initiating any ideas they have. They may have an early draft of the script, so where the first few episodes or first block is going to progress and start getting the ball rolling on generating ideas and for the scenes, whether it be a prop, a set, and then I'll start sketching away and start generating. Sometimes I get a mood board from the production designer, and then off to the races. And the concept designer is the person that sits quietly in the corner, sketching furiously, drawing away, trying to do as cool a stuff as possible, and that will hopefully make it on the screen.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned there you do sketching. Is that your entire process? Do you always work with paper and pens, or do you use
I work with
computer modelling?
Yeah, I use everything. Wherever gets the job done, I think the main takeaway is. So I do a lot of. I can't sketch in pencil because my brain doesn't seem to like it. So I have to go straight in with pen. I have to commit. I do Photoshop digital painting and 3D modeling, 3D sculpting, sometimes clay sculpting. If I'm stuck in coming up with an idea using one medium, I switch to another just to see if it helps get out. So very adaptable.
Yeah, I was going to say, does it depend on whether you're working on a prop or a set or something? Or
yeah, mainly on set. I dive straight in with the 3D modeling just because it's you suddenly get a sense of space instantly, and you can play with cameras. You can set up shots straight away, even if it's just a couple of blocks. You can get a feel for how it could be shot, and then that'll influence what you design in that space. And then you can have a back and forth with the production designer. Sketch over the top of a rough model, take it further with the modeling, and back and forth that way. If it's a prop, I tend to do a bit of everything dependent on the prop straight away. Sometimes I can go straight in with the 3D modeling, but a lot of, say, season 12 was pen and marker sketching for pretty much nearly all the props, just with the time constraints. And I was just far quicker to sketch out sometimes and just hand it over to the poor prop makers that have to make sense of it and just go, hey, come on, make it cool.
How much research do you do, particularly for sort of like a historically set story or something like that?
It depends on the stuff I get for Doctor Who. If it is a historical setting, often it's a sci-fi element in a historical setting, or it's a specific alien tech that happens to be in the Victorian period. So then you either have the discussion then, is it going to be the full-on alien side of things, or is it going to be incorporating elements of the historical elements? So, for example, I think it was season 10, we had this, I think it was Thin Ice, I think the episode was. The detonator for when Bill and the Doctor tied up, the detonator for that was a generator that is a historical object, and that's what that was. So huge amount of research for that, how it works. I modeled down 3D so we could get the there's a lot of moving elements. Will it work? And then help that prop makers out as much as possible. So rather than design something, they go, yeah, it can't move like that. You got this in the way, you got this going through there. So a huge amount for that. And the season 11, I can't remember the name of the episode, The Witches, Witchfinders, with Alan Cummins. And he holds he has a prop of they called prickers, where they prick the witch, and he's got his custom ones, his regal ones, and I think he gives one to Ryan. So for that, there's a fair amount of research on what that was, because I never personally heard anything like that. So, but then designing that in our own way, with a designer, and feedback from Chris as well on what it could be, especially for an actor like Alan Cummins. It's got to stand up to him as well. At the end of the day, you can't just put anything in his hands. And then I think the what was the season 12? I don't know the name of it, because it was called The Master's Gadget. So forgive me on my lack of lore on that, but this is straight from my
Or
brief.
he's shrinking sort of thing.
And there is a term for it, and it's just out of my mind, and it's going to haunt me as soon as I finish this. That was so I did some sci-fi. I didn't know at the time what it was. It was just the draft of The Master's Gadget. So that I started off sci-fi, and then because they move into the period, that influenced then the design of the final prop, then pulling in the Victorian elements. I looked at a lot of vintage lighters for that, and getting mood boards off of the production designer Dav. That was fantastic. And then we ended up in the this thing that had a lot of gears, or visible gears, where if you could see it, it was always in his hand, and it's just over here somewhere, and moving around, so you can't quite there's very few shots of the in focus, but then that was that's an element where the period, I suppose, dictates the sci-fi design instead of vice versa. So
cool. And so obviously then for futuristic ones, you've got more of a free reign, but do you sort of still have influences that you go to?
How I work personally, if I don't have research or any mood boards given to me straight away, from as I'm reading the script or reading a description, it could be a line that's just like no idea, grey box with a red light. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, I'll start designing that then. I will sketch my ideas down first of what it could be, and then I'll start doing research. And then start. So in the sense, the research doesn't influence my thinking too much. I don't want to see something that then I'm making a carbon copy of, or is too closely resembling something that's out there. I want to just get as much original stuff, or as original as my brain would allow, out, and then start researching it, and then that would then bring a tighter design to it. And then it's just about, for me, it's about shape language in the design. So if it's a particularly if it's a villain of an episode, are they going to be an angular shape? Is everything going to be quite soft curves? Is it going to be a blobby, or what is the species? What is the look of the creature? And then that'll often influence the design. So this way you communicate with, say, the costume designers. What are you doing for this guy? Have you got anything in mind? They're going to be holding it. What they're wearing should influence the props. You can't have two vastly different, you get sometimes, but you get two vastly different looking things on the same character, and that for me doesn't really gel. So it's all about communication across the team about what are you doing, I'm doing this, is that cool? No? Okay, fine, take it back. So so a huge collaborative process, and probably what Hayley's mentioned as well, say the spacesuits, the doctor's spacesuits for oxygen. Before I had a few things to design on that, but that was, okay, let's go see Hayley and see what the suits look like for one before I even start sketching. So just it's that really for me.
I was going to say, one thing I must ask you about is the 13th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. How did that start? How much of that was entirely your imagination and how much was sort of in the script?
So I was on a job. I was designing a children's TV show at the time, and I had a message to meet with Arwell about maybe doing some work for the brand new Doctor Who that's coming, and that was all super secret at the time. And we had a talk about first step was the TARDIS to start off ideation for that. So that put me in a bit of a panic. It's like, oh wow, okay, that's a bold one. And he mentioned the Sonic. And then at the time, I couldn't commit to both. So it was one or the other. So I took the TARDIS route. And by the, I think couple of months, I think it'd been 6 weeks went by. And when I fully joined the production then, and designs had already been done by an amazing artist, Aidan Jones, who's at ILM now. But so I inherited the designs for that. Arwell talked me through what he was thinking with the designs and where to take it. And then there was huge feedback then from Chris, and we would just pool together about way to take this thing, because it's the thing. It's everywhere. It's iconic, and it's always a bit of a, oh, okay, can I just design some stairs? That's way easier. Less stressful.
I was going to say there must be a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and as the deadline gets near, I think I finalized the design at 11:30 p.m. one day. I think it was a Wednesday. It just had to be sent off, and there was just emails between me and Arwell. He was CCing in Chris's feedback and addressing that, doing a tweak, sending it off. This cool, all right, cool. And then it was done, and then it was ready for. The cool thing was with technology that way, because of my 3D modeling skills, and at the time I was getting into the 3D printing world, we got the design to a stage where we were able to 3D print it to scale, and then Jodie came in and had a feel and had a hold, and then from how it was feeling in her hand, we'd take the tweaks. So especially in the grip level where it meets her palm, because it's got to be, she's holding it a lot. It's got to be comfortable, no matter how it looks. It's just got to be, she just can't hate using it, otherwise then it'll, probably limit how much she wanna hold it. So taking that print, just a simple overnight print, saved us headaches in the long run, because we saw exactly how she wanted to do it, where the tweaks could be made, what to shape a little better, what to bring lower. And based off that, I think that was it. We had to address the feedback, and then it got sent off to get made by Nick Robato then.
Yeah.
Of Rubber Toe Props. And then we just waited until it turned up.
I was going to say, is it quite exciting to see things on screen then that you've designed?
It's also a bit of a panic, because you're just like, oh no, how is it going to look? And going back to the prickers, I was really happy with them designs. I was really thought those were like, this is there's some beautiful detail work in there, and just like the Sonic, you see on screen, it's in the hand and it's pointing at the camera, and all you see is just a little bit of something on the end. You're just like, what all that work? But I think it's why you're in there, to see stuff on the screen, and whatever I do is always going to be improved by the prop makers. And I like my role, because even though I'm coming up with a design, it's influenced by so many people. I'm collecting everyone's thoughts, and then whatever I send out to the prop makers, they somehow make way cooler. And it's just like, I wish I thought of that when I was designing it. It's just a little thing, and they tweak it, and you just see, and you're like, okay, it was worth it.
Yeah. So how much do you have to change your designs from sort of initial concepts to kind of actually what appears on screen due to sort of budgets and practical considerations?
So at the start, it's usually a free-for-all.
Mm-hmm.
And then I suppose as the weeks go on, then you realize where the budgets get divvied up then and have to be amended, or maybe it gets dropped from a script entirely. You spent probably a few days on the thing, and then suddenly the next version of the script comes out, and you're looking through, and you're like, "Oh no, where is it? Where is it? Where's it gone?" It's yeah, it's a fine balance. Things. I don't really know where to take there. It's they end up.
Is there any? I was going to say.
Yeah. So for one thing, it's about how much I'm allowed to say as well.
Oh, okay.
Some things change entirely, like a complete design style.
Yeah.
And that happened on the latest season, where the tech shifted entirely to an entirely different thing, with a few days for it to be on camera. So I had to redesign the entire prop list in a couple of days for it to be made to be on camera. Which moments like that, you're just like, oh, okay. I thought I was having a really good week. There we go.
Does that happen often, or is that an unusual thing?
Not too often. Sometimes it's you just have to roll with the punches. At the end of the day, it's a production. Things have got to be elevated. Some things have got to be cut. You can't be precious, especially in my role, because I'm the idea person. You know, I'm like, do options, choose one. Oh, you can't go. Oh, that's not the one. That's not my favorite. But hey, you know, it's what works for the show. You know. So it's a case of just choosing as much. You can try and influence the coolest design, trying to get in there. It's probably spending a little bit more time on your particular favorite, just like make it stand out. Just be like, this is going all the way, and then it gets cut.
So you're looking at sort of props and sets. How much is sort of a practical thing that's going to be used by actors, and how much is decorative, sort of the design work that you do?
A lot of stuff is interactive in terms of, say, keypads or something. There's always a device in something. So it could be a mobile phone, it could be an iPad, something with a screen in, which will then, so then you build in a housing, and then you have to make it comfortable for the actor to hold, accessible. So you work with the graphic designer. What they think, this is the design I'm thinking. What are you thinking for the interface? Because at the end of the day, you got the actor just wants to push a button and it does something. It does exactly what it's meant to do, rather than they've accidentally pushed something and then screen's gone and it's all carnage. So in terms of that, there's a lot of electronic work in there. There's usually so again, back to the prickers, there was a function in I think there was a police baton element in there where you push a button that makes it pop out. We took that element, they had to house that, the sonic or the electronics in there, the motor. You got to take that into consideration, because you can design it really sleek, really slim, and then suddenly this doesn't go in there, so can you make it there? And then sometimes you can put forward a suggestion where if you do a sleight of hand, it makes it look like it's just done something. Just move your thumb on something, and then maybe it'll hopefully trick the eye there. And then actors drop everything all the time, and then it's smashed, and then it's just like that happens a lot. So yeah.
I was going to say, do you have a favorite thing that you've designed for the series, or from each series? Maybe from each. So like,
each series, okay.
Yeah.
Season 10. Oh, see, that was my introduction to Doctor Who, so everything was pretty exciting there. I have no idea. I don't know why. It's just the pistol that was in the was it the Christmas special with the ghost? Yeah, maybe the guy had the gun in the head. So I had to design the gun to fit in the head.
Okay.
And at the time we didn't have the actors. We didn't know what the ratio was in terms of the fitting the gun to the hand, as well as like the head cast as well. So designing the inside goop stuff of what it would all look like. So that was pretty cool, just because it was pretty gross. I mean, and then there's a prop at the same time. It's like, oh, wicked. And you read the line, he pulls a gun out of his head, and you're like, oh, wow, brilliant.
Yeah.
I get going. Season 11, too early, I think, for me for that, just because that was, you got the TARDIS, you got the Sonic, you got Kevin, the Dalek, so he's known as Kevin, so...
Okay.
Just because you couldn't have you couldn't have it written down what he was, just in case he got leaked. So he was always Kevin. So all that was cool, but Twirly, I don't know, there was something about it which was just this little robot guy. He's a bit cheeky, and I think when you read the script flowers, it was one of those things where I hope this goes to me and not to VFX or not to any SFX guy like doing it. I hope it comes to the art one, because everything gets divvied up. And sometimes you read things and you're like, oh, that's definitely an art department job, but then it goes elsewhere and you're like, a bit devastated. So to land Twirly was because I modeled the whole thing and we 3D printed it. It was just a huge undertaking between me and the fabricators and Arwell, and getting that signed off. It was that was a good one. And then because I only done a few episodes for season 12, it's got to be that the Master's Gadget, the shrinking thing. I sculpted the tiny guy in the matchbox as well. So these little things like that. You may have big grand elements. So you may have like so you've got the Sonic, you've got the TARDIS, but it's the little things, just the little. I think it's because the ones that bring you you're laughing as you're doing them, going, you can't be serious. Like a tiny man in the matchbox, helping the tiny man in the matchbox. It's like, this is, if anyone looked and said, you get paid for that, it's like, yeah, it's great. So I think, those are my favorites, I think, and all the stuff that got cut and I never ever see.
Maybe one day it'll be seen.
Yeah, maybe one day. I'm waiting for a good book, good art book. There's I think for not deliverable items, I think for season 11, 473 concepts I did, minus sketches and all the models and all the variations and stuff. So in terms of deliverable JPEGs that are in my folder, 473. Yeah, so it was a lot of work. a lot of effort on everyone's part there. So,
that's it. Because I mean, we all watch the episodes, and I don't think we appreciate how much work goes into all those little details. So
I mean, it's just time and the amount of like the stuff that never makes it, it's the 1% that makes it to the screen. And you're always just thinking, and that's the problem with looking at stuff on the screen. You just go in, you just because you've worked on it, you're like, this was cut, or didn't have time to just like work on that a little bit more. but it's yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah, there's just reams, there's folders all out the camera shot, just filled with all the sketches that are just. I'm looking at it now, season 11 folder,
Yeah.
which is a binder about that thick
Wow. Yeah.
of forbidden artwork. Probably even to me, but yeah, it's all waiting to be put in the attic one day, never to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe one day it will be seen.
Hopefully.
But I was going to say, I'm sure all of our viewers really appreciate sort of all the work you do, because it, the series looks great, and so thank you very much for talking to me.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I play my part. I mean, team effort. It's got to be a big shout out to everyone that's involved, because there's a if you can do Doctor Who, you can do any job. It's one of those just like, all right, period, yeah, we got it. Sci-fi, we got it. Don't worry about it. We've got this. So any other job that comes calling, it just sets you up. So it's a really good. If anyone gets the chance, it's just Jumper is really good, really good. No matter how seasoned you are, it will teach you, and it's just a great experience. So thank you. Thank you for having me. Hope you've liked what I've contributed to the shows at some point, as small as they are. So yeah.
Thank you, Darren.